And hello guys, welcome back to another different tier 2 video. Today we're gonna be talking about Supreme Looter build. I'm gonna leave my kick where I stream different tier 2 and some other games. I'm gonna leave my Twitter where I'm very active and my Discord if you wanna join. Also my Instagram. So follow me on all socials to stay up to date on what is happening. So let's get into the video. Let's get it. Right, as always guys, we're first off gonna start with skills and items. Just for your information, this build might not be for everybody. This is how I like to play. This build is very versatile, so you can change your playstyle how you want. You can always choose between two how you like. But let's go first with the skills, as I said. So we have Sprinter 5, Looter 5, Melee Expert 5, Thick Skin 5, Unity System 5, and for the hard 5, Exterminator 5, Lockpicking 5, Kickboxing 5, Mill 5, and Quick Reflexes 1. Have in mind, this character is level 50, Prestige 1. Right, so let me explain everything. Sprinter, I was always a sprinter and I prefer sprint because it's faster than jogger, but the thing with sprint is you need sprint duration, sprint cooldown, and sprint speed. It has 3 stats, can be quite costly to build around, but you are definitely faster when you have a proper build. Or you can also combine sprint with jog if you have space in the skills or in the items, completely up to you. But this is how I've done. I have only sprinter in this build currently. The next skill is Looter 5 because we really need that surge speed. Everything else is really not important. As a looter, Find Unique Elite has a very low effect because the drop rate is very low, especially in looting. In bossing is low, but in looting is insanely low. So really, there's really like not gonna be any effect on it. Next skill, Melee Expert 5. Why we're using melee weapons, and I'll show you the way I play and everything. You don't have to get this, but if you're following my build, if you do have the same playstyle as me, I highly advise you have Melee Expert 5, and if you're following this build, of course. But yeah, you really need Melee Expert 5, gonna help you a lot. Because that body damage, attack speed, knockback, and stun duration is quite helpful, trust me. Another skills we have is Thick Skin 5 and Immune System 5. As you can see, we got bleeding chance, burn chance 100%, infection chance, and radiation chance 100%. So we don't have to worry about getting infected or getting burned. Those are the main 2 issues, like getting hit, getting bleeding or irradiated. That's if you get hit. But aura on some zombies are just, you know, pain in the ass, shall I say. So that's why we have it, so we don't have to worry about it at all. In for the heart for that extra 25% body damage, which is very important. Helps a lot with some infected, especially if we have to kill them. Depends on what type of situation we are, but highly advise to have it. Super useful. Exterminator 5 for damage versus infected, also very helpful. You don't have to get this, but if you have space in your build and you have enough damage, you don't have to get it. But if you have space, get it. Extra damage helps a lot. Damage against zombies, very simple. Lockpicking 5, 50% lockpick chance, 25 unique, 25 elite, and 10% surge speed. The only reason why I got it is 10% surge speed and lockpick chance. I really don't care about this Find Unique and Elite because there is really not gonna be any effect on my drop chance because of these 2. It's literally non-existent. That's how low it is. And as I'll explain, the why we have lockpick here is if you feel like some days you might have a different playstyle, you might feel doing something different, right? So here's the idea of this build, okay? Sometimes you can go do all the small buildings and just go for the doors, just lockpick everything, right? You can some days you want to do it. You can also do this without having lockpick. You can just have gear, but I have this because I said because of 10% surge speed. So you can some days go loot small houses if you want to go for the locked doors. Bang. There is a lot of them in outskirts. So that's why we have it. Also, you can use it in big buildings, but big buildings don't have that many locked doors, as we know. So as I said, if you're gonna do the same thing as I said here, go for lockpick. If you're not gonna do the same thing as I explained, do not go for lockpick. You really don't need it, but 10% surge speed is, you know, helps. It's a big help. So yeah. Kickboxing 5 for that sprint speed and jog speed. That's literally the only reason. And also that kick cooldown and knockback and stun duration. Because you can get sometimes in sticky situations, depends where you're looting, right? So that's a big help. Example, you're getting surrounded by a horde of zombies, you press left alt, bang, kick, and you knock them back all, and you can get out of there easy. So that's pretty much why we have kickboxing. Sprint, jog, very useful, very helpful. You need that so you can be as fast as possible when it comes to looting, and as explained for kicking. Mule fire for that extra 50% inventory capacity, which is 10 inventory, which is a big help. Trust me, you don't want to be going back non-stop to outposts. You don't want to have small inventory space, as big as possible. You'll see it. You'll see once you start looting. Very simple. We have 1 point into quick reflexes because it gives us dodge cooldown and incoming stun recovery. I would usually, if I was prestige 10, would have it as a point. I will have a level 5 in quick reflexes, and the last 5 skill points will probably go into the jogger, or maybe toughness or something else. That's like pretty much what I'll go. Okay, so those are the skills pretty much. But let me explain you what skills you do not want to take. Please do not take the skill called Apothecary and what's the other one called? Well, anyways, the one that gives you Find Medical and the one that gives you Find Ammo Chance. Do not take these. I'll explain now why. Because they only intervene with each other. If you focus on something, example, you want to loot, example, I don't know, weapons, right? You want to have Find Weapon Chance, right? As high as possible. You don't want to have any Find Ammo, any Find food, any Find, I don't know, anything like that. Because it's going to intervene with each other. And some items are more common than the others, which means the higher chance you have of finding it is going to be worse. You're going to find more of the items you do not want. So they're going to intervene with each other. Find Ammo and Find Medical is completely on the gears. You want to have it on the gear. And each set should be different. When you want to loot ammo, have a Find Ammo, looting gear. When you want to loot meds, have Find Meds looting gear. Very simple. So it's Apothecary and Lead Magnet. Yes, those two. Please do not take these two for the looters. I highly advise you to not take those. No matter what kind of a build you have, do not take these unless you have a separate character. Unless you want to have a separate character. One character for finding ammo, one for meds. That's great. That's actually great to do it like that. But on one character, please do not do that. Right, now let's move on to the gears. So primary weapon, we have Elite Mace, as you can see, visibility, jog speed, fine crafting, surge speed, sprint speed, kick damage, and weapon attack speed from titanium counterweight attachment upgrade for your weapon. So if you're following my build, you want to have some visibility as high as possible. Aim for the highest visibility possible. We want to have surge speed as high as possible, fine crafting as high as possible, and mobility stats as high as possible. The extra stats you want to focus on, if possible, is attack speed, body damage on your primary weapon, right? So those are the stats we have on the primary weapon. Also, we can get, as I said, jog speed if you want. If you can get it, that's fine. Secondary weapon, visibility, fine crafting, surge speed, sprint cooldown, dodge cooldown, weapon stun duration, doesn't matter. So this is our stat stick. On the stat stick, you want to get visibility, fine crafting, surge speed, mobility stats. That's what you want to get. If you can get, that's great. Extra stats will be some like utility, like inventory, right? Or some other stats, health restoration if you're getting hit quite often. Also, please guys, in this type of build, you don't want to get hit. Do not get a medic skill. You don't want to get that. If you're doing this build, when you're looting, you do not want to use meds. You want to spend as least as possible on meds, and don't get medic. Please, it's not viable. So the next thing we're gonna move on to now is helmet. As you can see, we have body damage, attack speed, surge speed, and fine crafting. The ideal headpiece would be like surge speed, fine crafting, attack speed, body damage, and damage resist infected. Extra stats, maybe find elite if you want to find elites. That's pretty much it. Nothing else. Okay. Same for the gloves. Those are the stats you will like. But as you can see, we have body damage, damage resist infected, surge speed, and fine crafting. Find rare does not affect us. We do not care about that, because when you loot items, it always goes from the top to the bottom. So the game will always try to roll unique, elite, rare, superior. That's how it works. So that find rare does not affect us. We don't care about it. So those are gloves and helmet. Now body piece. We have some 22 incoming damage, we have inventory capacity, visibility range, HP, some radiation, bleeding chance, which, you know, you can play around with skills if you get proper stats on your jacket. So you can lower if you want. If you, example, get 40% in the getting infected from infection, right? And from the burns, if you get 40% here, you can remove 2 points from each. You can remove 2 points from here and 2 points from here. So that's extra 4 skill points that you can use. So that's a trick you can do if you manage to get 40% minus 40% infection and burns. So for the body, you want inventory, visibility, HP, incoming damage, if possible incoming stun, recovery, and threshold. But that's really not that important because you don't want to get hit. But the issue is, as I said, aura damage. So infection chance, burns chance. If you can get those 40% on both, that's awesome. Joggers, you want to have sprint stats if you're doing the same thing as me, or jog if you're going for a jog. So as you can see, we have sprint speed, sprint cooldown, visibility range, and footsteps noise radius. That's really what we care about. The extra would be like inventory and incoming damage, but it's fine. Incoming damage will be like as a last option, but because, yes, as I said, you don't want to get hit. Want to get hit as least as possible. So what I want to focus here is mobility stats, visibility, and footsteps noise radius. Those are the main things you want to focus on. Now let's move on to the boots, triple sprint stats, dodge cooldown, jog speed, and footsteps noise radius. These are very, very good boots. Getting something like this is quite hard, but when I have as high as possible sprint stats, when I get dodge cooldown so you can dodge more often, when I get jog speed and the footsteps noise radius. This is like literally perfect boots for this build. I couldn't ask for any better. Like literally, I really love them. So those are the stats you want to have on your boots. Now, I'm going to show you full stats and explain you some things. So, as you can see, we have 0.9 search time, right? Inventory is 52, but when we equip large rucksack, we get 68. The thing is, when you're looting, you do not want to have large rucksack equipped. You want to have it in your backpack. That's a trick, because otherwise you'll have minus 10 movement speed. When you get to 50, or 51, 52, very close to the getting a cupboard, no space, right? Then you equip large rucksack. That's the trick. So it'll be faster. Search time 0.9, which is more than enough for me. Footsteps noise radius 2.85 meters. Visibility range 2.5. 2.5 for both is the lowest you can get. Unfortunately, I do not have 2.5 on footsteps, but if you can get 2.5 on footsteps, that's gonna be awesome. The things that we care about, next things, is dodge cooldown. Get it as low as possible. Sprint duration as high as possible. Sprint cooldown as high as possible as well. Kick damage, we do not care about that. If you can get kick cooldown as low as possible, that would be great as well. So that's pretty much about these stats. So as you can see, 23.94 body damage. We have 1.06 attacks per second, so we can knock back the enemies. Now the other stats, see body damage, attack speed, blah blah blah. So there's infected, mutated, very low HP, 235% search speed, 162 inventory, 28 incoming, 15 incoming stun recovery, and some other stats. Here are our mobility stats. You can always pause so you can have a better look. Sprint speed and jog speed as high as possible, guys. Don't even have to say anything about this. There's really no point in saying like what should be required amount. The higher, the better. Very simple. Sprint duration, sprint cooldown, both dodge cooldown as well, as high as possible. Find crafting is at 161%, which is very good. The higher, the better. Some people will say, if you don't have 180, 190, it's really not good. Well, it's really debatable because it's all RNG as well. The higher it is, the higher chance you'll have. It helps definitely, but you know it's debatable. RNG, as we all know. So you know. But as higher, the better. The higher you can get it, the better. As you can see, find elite, find unique, blah blah blah. The things we don't care about pretty much. Actually, you know, find elite is really good if we, in my opinion, I do always go for find elite over find unique when it comes to looting. So yeah, these are the stats. So as I said, the playstyle is. I'm gonna show you now how the playstyle is, but pretty much, Left click when zombies get close to you or before you're gonna loot. Kick them as well. Use the kick, use the dodge. Loot the big buildings if you want, or loot small, depends, completely up to you. But you can also switch between the playstyles. On the days when you just want to smack zombies, you can smack them, you can go completely ham, you can just go, you know, killing zombies. Or on the days you just want to speed loot, just speed loot, you know. So completely optional. But let's get into the gameplay so you can see it. So these are the type of buildings you want to do. These are small houses, residences, and I'll show you more on the way.
What do you want?
The thing is, when you're looting, what you want to do is, like, before you loot, if you got spotted, right, you just want to, before the end of load, right, when you're in the loading screen, before the loading screen happens, you want to click left click, so you don't have to worry about enemies getting you. Or you can also kick, or you can dodge. Those are also optional, completely up to how you want to do it, you know, what type of situation it is, if one is on cooldown or not. Let me show you other types of the buildings, and also I'm picking up a bunch of items here just to show you, you know, the speed of everything, right? So you don't wanna pick up some of the items I've picked up. But now let's move on and find the other types of the buildings you want to loot. And you know, as I said, you want to loot small houses. So these types of residences, because you have lockpick because of getting very fast to locked doors, which have higher chance of getting upgrades, crafting items, elites and uniques. Also, you wanna use the settings that gives you as much as visibility as possible. I am having these graphic settings because, you know, just to make it a bit harder for me and such. There's two other types of small buildings that you want to loot, which I will try to find as soon as possible. One is in the city and the other is in the outskirts. I don't know if there is any boats here. Don't know the current map rotation. Didn't play much lately, so yeah, bear with me. Gonna take some time to find those. As soon as I find it, I'll show you. And there you go. This type. I'm not gonna get inside. It's exactly the same. So this type of residence, and let's find cottage right here or lodge, whatever. Those are all types of small buildings you wanna loot with, especially if you're going for such build as mine and you have a lockpick, and if you just wanna go for the locked doors, which you can also do. There is a lot of small houses in the cottages, residences in the outskirts. Outskirts are full of them, so I always advise you to go for these in outskirts first and then focus on the city. Or if you want to focus on the big buildings, you can also, you know, go loot big buildings. You can first get rid of big buildings that you like and then focus on the small ones. And we just got a stalker, right? But yeah, pretty much that's how the build works, how it is. You know, I'm gonna say something more maybe at the end before I end, so if I forgot something. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. That's the way how you play it and how it works. Okay, so that's how it works. As you've seen, it's really good. Can be better. Have in mind, this is not min-maxed. It can definitely be better, but it's gonna be very expensive. Have that in mind. Also, the trick that I forgot to mention. So if you're using a melee weapon as me, right? You go to cosmetics and you go to the melee weapons. You wanna get, if you have 100 credits, get the Danex. Why? Because Danex has the highest reach out of all melee weapons, except Reaper Sight. Reaper Sight has a higher. The Reaper Sight has the highest reach out of all melee weapons. So by getting this cosmetic, you'll increase your reach when you're trying to hit the enemies, which is very important. So that'll be pretty much for this video. If I'm gonna miss on something out, I'm gonna leave it down in the comments, in the description of the video if I miss on anything, so please check it out. I'm gonna leave my social, as I said, and kick where I stream. So that'll be for this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and please, you know, like, share if you can, because it helps me and helps you guys so I can make more content and everything. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you in another video of Different Tier 2, guys. See you next time. Love you all. Peace.